Dear ladies and gentlemen, there is a tragedy greater than death, and that is living like you're already dead. You wake up, but you don't feel awake. You breathe, but you don't feel alive. You exist, but you don't live. Don't die before your death. You see, some of us are walking around with dreams buried in fear, potential locked in doubt, and purpose wrapped in excuses. You weren't created to just make it to the end of your life. You were created to live it, to shake the ground you walk on, and to leave a mark no grave can erase. Too many people bury their passion under people's opinions. Too many bury their calling under comfort. But I came to tell you today, resurrect your purpose. It's not over unless you surrender it, and you haven't come this far just to settle. Don't let what happened to you become who you are. Don't let your scars become your identity. You are more than what you've survived. You are called. You are chosen. You are charged to live a life that echoes beyond your breath. And until your final breath leaves your lungs, you have work to do. Heaven is watching, hell is nervous, and the world is waiting. Don't die before your death. 10 key points of the speech. Living without purpose is worse than dying. Existing is not enough. You're meant to live with meaning. Fear is the silent killer of destiny. Don't let it stop you from pursuing what you were created for. Your potential doesn't die until you bury it. Refuse to let comfort kill your calling. Pain is real, but it's not the end. Your scars tell a story, but they don't define your identity. You are not what happened to you. Your identity comes from your creator, not your crisis. Excuses are the enemy of elevation. The longer you justify your limitations, the longer you delay your breakthrough. The clock is ticking, but you're still in the game. If you're breathing, you're not done. There's still purpose in your pulse. Heaven believes in you. You're not alone. You are divinely supported. The world needs what you carry. Your story, your gift, your voice, it matters. Don't die before your death. Choose to live boldly, love deeply, and leave nothing on the table. Let me know if you'd like this speech adapted into a sermon, poem, or video script. Absolutely. Here's an ** expanded version of key point 1 * from the speech Don't Die Before Your Death. Written in a passionate, heartfelt tone inspired by Steven Furtick's style, without adding a subtitle or conclusion. There is something deeply tragic about going through the motions of life without ever really touching the fullness of it. To breathe but not feel breath, to wake up every day but never rise, to function but not flourish, and yet that is where so many people find themselves, alive in body but dead in spirit, walking, talking, working, showing up, scrolling, smiling. But inside they're numb, disconnected, hollow, waiting for something to change, all while slowly surrendering the fire they were born to carry. It's possible to attend every meeting, respond to every message, and do all the right things and still be dying inside. It's possible to have a career, a family, a full calendar, and still have an empty soul. Because life is not measured by your routine. Life is measured by your *reach*. By how much of yourself you're really bringing into each moment. Are you giving your heart to anything? Are you investing your soul in something bigger than survival? Because survival alone is not success. Some people bury their passion to please others. They mute their voice because someone didn't like how loud it used to be. They tuck away their dreams because someone told them to be realistic. But let me ask you, when did staying alive become more important than truly living? When did avoiding risk start sounding more appealing than answering your calling? You weren't created to be safe. You weren't crafted to hide. You were formed with intention, knit together with purpose, born into this world with something * only you * can release. And every day that you don't step into it, a part of you slips away. Every day that you choose comfort over calling, something inside you shrinks, and slowly, piece by piece, your spirit starts to fade, until one day you realize you've died, but you're still breathing. God didn't bring you this far to sit quietly in the background of your own life. You weren't meant to play small, to dim your light, to let fear dictate your story. You were meant to disrupt darkness. You were meant to carry glory. You were meant to live * fully *, not merely exist politely. There's nothing noble about burying your brilliance so no one else feels uncomfortable. There's nothing holy about hiding the gifts you were entrusted with. Playing it safe won't save you. It'll just slowly drain the life out of you. That's how people die while they're still alive. By letting fear dictate their choices, by letting pain rewrite their identity, by choosing silence when they were made to speak. So I dare you, live with your whole heart, love like it matters, create like heaven is watching, dream like death isn't the end. You don't get to control the day you die, but you sure can control the day you stop living. And today doesn't have to be that day. Certainly. Here is an expanded version of ***, key point 2*** from the speech ***. Don't die before your death, ***, written with deep emotion, faith, driven energy and urgency, without a subtitle or conclusion. Fear doesn't always show up as a monster. Sometimes it comes dressed in logic. It sounds like, be careful, play it safe, what if you fail, what will people think? It doesn't scream, it whispers. It wraps itself around your decisions until your whole life starts shrinking into a version that feels manageable, predictable, and tragically small. And while you may still be moving, you're no longer advancing. You're circling, you're stuck, not because you're not able, but because you're afraid. Fear is one of the enemy's most effective weapons, not because it's strong, but because we believe it. We give it permission to sit in rooms where it doesn't belong. We let it veto our voice, sabotage our steps, and block blessings we were born to walk in. And if we're honest, many of us are not being held back by failure. We're being held hostage by fear of failure ***. We haven't even tried yet, and we've already surrendered. That's the trap. Fear talks you out of trying before the first step. It convinces you that rejection will destroy you. It makes you believe that if you don't do it perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. But that's a lie. Perfection was never the goal ***, progress *** was. God never asked you to be flawless. He called you to be faithful, and faith doesn't cancel fear, it confronts it. Faith says, I'm scared, but I'm moving anyway. Faith says, even if I fail, I'm still in the fight. Too many of us are dying in safe places. Too many are hiding in shallow waters, never discovering how deep their purpose really goes. We've confused safety with peace, but there's a difference. Peace comes from walking in alignment with purpose, even when it's risky. Safety comes from avoiding risk at all costs, even when it kills your soul slowly. Let me tell you this, fear will always try to convince you that now is not the time. It will tell you you're not ready, that you're too broken, too behind, too late. But God doesn't speak in fear, and if fear is driving your decisions, you're not listening to the right voice. What if the thing you're afraid of is the very thing you were born to conquer? What if the door you're scared to open is the one that leads to the life you've been praying for? Fear wants you to believe that staying stuck is safer than stepping out. But the real danger is in remaining where God never intended you to stay. You cannot fulfill your calling and serve your fear at the same time. You've got to choose, and yes, courage will cost you comfort, but settling will cost you everything ***. Your gifts, your growth, your destiny, they're all on the other side of fear. You don't get to avoid the fear and access the promise. You go through the fear * by faith *, not because you're fearless, but because your God is bigger than what scares you. Fear may still shout, but you don't have to answer. You can rise up, trembling if you have to, and say, not today, not this time. I'm not living my life under lock and key because fear said I couldn't. You have been equipped for the thing you're afraid of. You've been anointed for the places that make you nervous, and the power inside you is greater than the pressure around you. Don't let fear write your story. Don't let it dictate your decisions, dull your dreams, or delay your destiny. Fear doesn't need to destroy you to defeat you. It just needs to convince you to do nothing. So don't let it, absolutely. Here's a deeply expanded version of ***, key point 3*** from the speech ***. Don't die before your death, ***, written in a passionate, empowering tone with spiritual and motivational weight. without adding a subtitle or conclusion. Potential is one of the most powerful things you carry, and one of the most painful things to waste. It's the evidence of what asterisk could be asterisk, if only you had the courage to let it breathe. But here's the thing about potential: it doesn't scream, it doesn't beg for attention. It waits for you to give it permission, it waits for you to say yes, it waits for you to stop settling and start stretching. But when you bury your potential, you don't just lose an idea, you lose a future. You lose moments that could have become milestones. You lose testimonies that could have been triumphs. The saddest part is that some people will go their whole lives never knowing how close they were to breaking through, simply because they buried the very thing they were meant to build. And what's worse is that we don't even bury it with a shovel. We bury it with distractions, with fear, with procrastination, with excuses. We say things like someday, or when the timing's right, or maybe when I feel more ready. But every time you delay what God placed in you, you dig the dirt a little deeper over your destiny. Potential doesn't die overnight. It dies in silence. It dies in small compromises. It dies when you prioritize what's urgent over what's eternal. It dies when you keep choosing what's easy over what's essential. You don't even realize it's gone until you wake up and the fire is gone, the vision is blurry, and the days all start to look the same. But hear this, asterisk, you weren't meant to manage your potential. You were meant to multiply it. Asterisk, God didn't give you a dream so you could frame it on the wall. He gave it to you to asterisk walk it out. Asterisk that idea, that message, that invention, that mission. It was never meant to stay in your imagination. It was meant to touch lives, change atmospheres, shift generations, and yes, stepping into your potential will require sacrifice. Yes, it will cost you comfort, but settling costs more. Settling costs you your purpose. And a comfortable life without purpose is a slow death. That's what it means to die before your death, to bury what you should have built, to silence what you should have spoken, to quit what you never even started. You've got more in you than what you're living right now. There is more territory to take, more lives to impact, more faith to unleash. But you will never access what's ahead if you keep protecting what's behind. Stop letting the fear of the unknown keep you from unearthing the potential that heaven planted inside you. You don't need everyone to understand it. You don't need 100 people to support it. You don't need every detail figured out. You just need to stop sitting on the treasure that God has buried inside you. You've been equipped. You've been set apart. The soil of your soul is not meant for burial. It's meant for growth. And potential, once activated, becomes power. But potential, once ignored, becomes regret. Don't die with it still in you. Don't go to the grave full of what-ifs. Don't spend your whole life watering everyone else's dream while letting yours starve. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your asterisk contribution asterisk, your voice, your vision, your impact. You are not called to be a reservoir of potential. You are called to be a river of purpose. Let it flow. Let it rise. Let it asterisk live asterisk. Certainly. Here is an expanded, emotionally powerful version of asterisk asterisk key point 4 asterisk asterisk from the speech asterisk asterisk. Don't die before your death asterisk asterisk, written in a deeply faith-filled and motivational style without any subtitle or conclusion. Pain is real. It's not a myth, and it's not something you can just pretend away. It carves deep. It lingers. It changes how you see the world, how you trust, how you move forward. Some wounds don't just leave scars on your skin. They leave stories in your soul. And for many of us, those stories are still being written. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. Asterisk asterisk, your pain is not your prison unless you let it be asterisk asterisk. So many people walk around defined by what broke them, defined by what left, defined by what didn't work out. They're not dead, but they're not alive either. They're functioning, but they're not flourishing. Because somewhere along the way, They decided that pain meant the end. That if it hurt that bad, it must be a sign to stop. But pain is not a prophecy, it's a process. Pain is not the end of your story, it's a plot twist. It's the moment everything shifts. The moment God turns ashes into beauty, wounds into wisdom, and suffering into strength. You may have been through trauma. You may carry grief that no one sees. You may be walking with a limp from battles that left you bruised. But let me tell you something. Asterisk asterisk, you can bleed and still be chosen. Asterisk asterisk. You can cry and still carry a calling. Just because it hurt doesn't mean you're finished. In fact, pain often shows up when you're closest to purpose. The enemy doesn't attack what's not a threat. The struggle is not a sign of your weakness. It's a sign of your asterisk worth asterisk. There's gold inside of you, and pain is the fire that refines it. You may not have asked for the fire, but it's building something in you that comfort never could. But here's where many people die before their death. They let their pain turn into paralysis. They stop dreaming, they stop loving, they stop showing up fully because it hurt too much last time. And without realizing it, they build a life around avoiding the very thing that could heal them. Asterisk growth asterisk. You're not meant to live guarded forever. Yes, be wise. Yes, acknowledge your wounds, but don't let them become walls. Don't let what broke you yesterday become the lens you see tomorrow through. God does not waste pain. What you thought was punishment may have been preparation. What you thought was the end may have been a new beginning. The pain didn't come to stay, it came to pass. But if you keep nursing it, rehearsing it, and building your identity around it, you'll never step into the joy that was meant to rise out of it. Pain is a teacher, not a master. It can inform you, but it cannot define you, unless you allow it. Too often we let one chapter define the whole book, but you're still writing and you have the pen, not the pain, not the person who left, not the moment that shattered you. With God's help, you still have the power to turn the page. You may be in a season where everything feels heavy, where every day is a fight to smile, to hope, to believe. But the fact that you're still standing is proof that purpose still lives in you. If pain was enough to stop you, you wouldn't be here. But you are, and that means there's more for you. Don't let your suffering become your ceiling. Don't let your heartache become your home. You are more than what you've been through. You are not the divorce. You are not the diagnosis. You are not the failure, the betrayal, or the brokenness. Those things happened, yes, but they do not get to name you. There's healing for every hurt, restoration for every ruin, joy for every tear, and what the enemy used to try and bury you, God will use to build you. Pain may have visited, but resurrection is coming. Keep living, keep healing, keep hoping, because your pain is real. But asterisk asterisk, so is your purpose. Asterisk asterisk.